All right, here I am with the recap about GU, and let's start everything with the 4-hour markup once again, as I did on EURUSD. So what has happened on the GU? Well, technically, we had a huge range on GBPUSD, and as you can see, price has just swapped the range low liquidity right here, and everything here is just the range high liquidity. So range low has been swapped with this huge bearish movement to the downside, but also the demand zone has been broken right here. This was an extreme 4-hour demand which has initiated the daily swing breakout structure right here. So this 4-hour demand has been broken, as you can see, and after this liquidity sweeping movement, and especially after several candles has broken below the 4-hour demand area, I was looking for shorts maybe, but I have written it down right here that but let's take a look on the 50-minute time frame. This is our last recent 4-hour supply area caused the liquidity sweeping movement and also the break of this 4-hour demand area. So yeah, technically that's all that has happened on GBPUSD 4-hour time frame. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. And on the 15-minute time frame, there was a 15-minute swing breakout structure to the downside, and also there was a extreme 15-minute demand zone mitigation. This 15-minute demand has been flipped technically from this supply area, and the reason why I did mark this 15-minute demand supply because it has initiated a really nice inefficient movement to the downside, but technically the flip of the sub demand area has happened and has started from this supply area, and that's the reason I was waiting for a confirmation entry on it or a flip. If a flip happened, we could execute longs to higher supply areas. Before the session, as you can see right here, price has mitigated this 15-minute supply area. It barely had any inefficiency. Maybe price also has already mitigated a really small percent, maybe a 1% of this zone right here. And after that, price has made another breakout structure to the downside. But as you can see, technically the swing breakout structure happened from this supply area, and because of the missing 50% mitigation, I was expecting a reaction on it, and as you can see, it did happen. So price has reacted on this 50-minute supply before session open, and I have marked and I have drawn a possible scenario right here, which was a flip scenario. Also, I haven't drawn a short confirmation entry here, but technically we could look for this possible opportunity here too. Also, there was a 15-minute demand zone mitigation, and technically this 15-minute demand has caused the flip of this previous supply right here that has initiated the breakout structure right here, and the flip happened from this demand area. And the reason I was expecting a possible confirmation entry on it, because it had a chance to give us a confirmation up to this higher supply area. Also, I could expect, and I was expecting a possible flip scenario. If a flip scenario happened, I would target this pure liquidity pool right here, and I would target this breakout structure, expectational breakout structure at this point. So these were the scenarios that I was looking for in this session. And let's take a look on the real trading view. Here is the 15-minute time frame. Here is the 15-minute markup. Here is the 15-minute time frame. Yeah. So what has happened? Technically, this supply area hold the price, but at the first 1 hour of the session, technically price was struggling and did literally nothing inside of this supply area. But if you take a look on the 1-minute time frame, a possible entry opportunity showed up, which was after the liquidity sweep right here. So technically there was a possible entry opportunity on this supply area that has initiated the change of character right here. There was the last recent breakout structure. After that, price was making substructural movements only, and the change of character technically happened from this area, and this was the extreme in this case. But we could not set a limit order directly on this zone because it was part of the lunchtime areas. These are the lunchtime candles that has been formed inside of the lunchtime. So we couldn't really set any limit order on these areas directly. We would need reconfirmation on it on the 1-minute time frame, and it did not happen. Technically, there was a change of character to the downside, but in this movement, price hasn't left behind any possible entry opportunity, possible entry POI. So there was nothing. Nothing really has happened in the first hour of the session. And after that, after the liquidity creation at this point, these weren't the perfect triple taps, but it was still a triple taps liquidity. After the liquidity creation right here, price has swept all of this liquidity from this region, and with really nice reaction, it rejected and reversed to the downside, caused change of character at this point. This was the last recent demand area, caused breakout structure here to the upside too. This was the demand that has initiated the volume push to the upside that has caused the liquidity sweep, caused the breakout structure. And technically the change of character happened at this point. And after this character changing movement, I had a limit order on this entry POI. The reason why I have chosen this entry POI, because it has initiated the change of character. There was literally we could barely find any inefficiency at this point. The real inefficiency, the real volume, the real money has been pumped into the market from this candle. And after that, price has just literally melted to the downside. I would target this 50-minute demand that has caused the flip beforehand. And as you can see, price technically reacted on this decisional area. I did not settle mid order and decisional. It was a decisional versus extreme type 3. So in this case, the change of character happened from this entry POI. After that, price has made a breakout structure here. And this zone had a really great chance to be part of the liquidity for the extreme zone. In this case, I wanted to see liquidity creation for this entry POI, for this decisional zone below the below the decisional area. It did not happen. Price left behind only a single high. It wasn't enough for me in order to set a limit order on this decisional zone, and also it did not cause any flip at this point right here, so it wasn't a flip zone either. It was just a zone that has caused breakout structure, so without any mitigation at this point. So for me, this was liquidity for the extreme, but after the zone mitigation, after this 15-minute demand zone mitigation, I decided to delete my order right here. And also we had high impact news exactly at this point, which has fucked up the whole price action. As you can see, it was a no tech trade for 7.3 risk reward ratio, but let's count the criteria first. First one, higher time frame zone mitigation. Price was still inside of this 50-minute supply. Liquidity to take for the higher time frame area, inefficiency, and we are clearly in a pro trend on the 50-minute time frame, clearly also on the 4-hour time frame. Change of character happened. We could count the V-shaped recovery, especially after the liquidity sweeping movement, but also price V-shaped reacted at first on this supply area. So technically we could count the V-shaped recovery in this case. So this was my 7th criteria. 5th one was the 50% mitigation. 8th one was the liquidity target. There was liquidity target on the downside also. This was just literally liquidity target for the upcoming shorts. At this point right here, there was no supply zone mitigation, no opposite sided demand zone mitigation. This was the only valuable demand area that has caused something, and as actually it would be my original TP. So price wasn't coming from any opposite sided zone. We had corrective pullbacks from pro movements, but I have been missing the combined liquidation when I have set my limit order here. Somewhere around here, I set my limit order. At this point, I have been missing the combined liquidation. So I had 10 criteria for this entry opportunity. It was a no tech trade, and yeah, it happens sometimes. It's perfectly fine. It's part of the trading. It's part of this whole Forex industry. So technically, that's all, guys. I really hope you can grab some value from these recaps. And I want to wish all of you a really nice rest of the weekend, rest of this Sunday night, and see you guys tomorrow in New York session. David Pishtur will manage London session, and I will do New York session tomorrow. So yeah, take care, guys, and see you